Okay, so this is our Cleary Mind presentation. I'm Pablo Vasconcelos. I'm a freshman at Cleary studying cybersecurity management.
I'm Nicholas Sosha, and I'm a freshman here at Cleary as well, and I'm studying supply chain management. The Cleary Mind is a set of 8 attributes put together through a study that Cleary did by asking local businesses and alumni to see what they value most in potential future employees. These 8 attributes were designs and put together to help future students to stand out in front of a crowd in networking or in an interviewing process. And you can find the 8 attributes on the website. This is what it would look like. There's like a circle here. The first attribute is critical thinking. This is the ability to analyze a situation or data, evaluate different options, and make a final well-informed decision. An example of this that I had was at work. I had to change the front line cars, and so I analyzed what cars we had in stock, and I looked at what I thought would be the best fit, and I went to my boss, and he was like, yeah, that's good. And so through that, analyzing, seeing what cars we had in stock, I was able to make a final well-informed decision of what combination of cars or what I wanted them to be. The second one is creative thinking. It's the ability to come up with tangible or non-tangible ideas. The example I had for this one was that my dad saw 40 acres of land up in the UP, and instead of seeing it and just being, oh, it's just land, he thought, hey, I can build my dream home on this land in a couple years because it can be forested, they can cut down trees, and they'll pay him for it. So he bought the land, he saw he could go hunting, build his house, which resulted in him and my stepmom going to be happy in the future. Next one is communication. This is the ability to explain something clearly or to get your point across effectively. This again has to do with me changing the front line cars when my boss wanted it to. I analyzed, and then I also got a point across of what cars I wanted, which resulted in me putting those cars to be showed up there on the front line. And the next one is problem solving. This is the ability to come up with a practical solution to an immediate problem. The idea I had for this was my buddy's car was leaking fluid, and we didn't know what fluid, and he couldn't drive it because of it. So what we did was I helped him out. We found out what the fluid was, we found out where it was coming from, then we fixed the solution by replacing the part, which resulted in him being able to get to class, practice, and whatever else he needed to do.
Okay, so as for persuasion, it's the process of presenting arguments to move, change, and influence people towards your audience. I fucked that up, sorry. My personal example is once I got accepted at Cleary, I influenced my then girlfriend to marry and follow me halfway across the globe. And by proposing and assuring her that everything would be okay, and that led to us still being together and very far from home. The next attribute is ethics. So it's the discipline concerned with what is morally good and bad and what is morally right and wrong. So my personal example of this is once I participated in a hacking championship, and we were not allowed to use AI code, and some teammates wanted to do it, so we had to make a principled decision by not using it, which led to us rewriting everything that we had, placing 3rd place, but we could sleep at night, so that was worth it. The next attribute is entrepreneurship. So it's the mindset to identify a need in the market and fill that need. So you can create a product or service that will fill that need. My personal example of this is I noticed my father's company was using paper and outdated tech. So we helped him upgrade software that he was using, and that made internal processes move a lot faster and saved them a lot of money. Leadership. So leadership is a set of behaviors that help people align their collective goal and act on their plans. My personal example of this is I led and organized a Brazilian Counter-Strike team on a championship, and we ran a lot of strategic practices which made our team won together, and we ended up winning the state championship.
Now, all this may seem like a lot to remember, but the way we found as a class to remember this better is by using CPEL, or 3C, 2P, 2E, and 1L. We're going to do comparison and contrasting differences. First one's critical thinking versus creative thinking. Now, the difference between these two is that critical thinking is about analyzing information, evaluating the different options, and using that to make a well-informed decision, while creative thinking is about generating new ideas or thinking outside of the box. The next one's critical thinking versus problem solving. Now, this one's pretty simple. This one is basically critical thinking is you have time to analyze, evaluate the information, decide what you want. Problem solving is it's got to be a practical solution to an immediate problem right in front of you.
Okay, so for communication and persuasion. So communication is about being clear and understood, and persuasion is moving others towards your goal. I listed some examples. So explaining a policy is communication, but convincing others to support it is persuasion. Telling a story is communication, but using that story to inspire action is persuasion. Stating your opinion is communication, but changing someone else's opinion is persuasion. And we have another comparison. So leadership and ethics. Leadership is about guiding direction and execution, while ethics is about ensuring the guidance is morally right. So we also listed some examples. So a leader sets aggressive sales targets, but ethics ensures they're achieved without misleading customers. So leadership may call for tough decisions, but ethics demands those decisions respect fairness and human dignity. And last one is a leader drives innovation, but ethics ensures it's done without exploiting people or the environment. And that's it.
Okay, what did you get out of the class personally?
Personally, from this class, what I got is how to be able to stand out in a crowd to different people when networking. I also got from how to stand out, how to incorporate this into my actual everyday life and at my current job to be better and work better.
I feel like I'm much more prepared to present myself to a company or an employer, and I know now the importance of the 8 attributes.
Okay, thank you.